Can I ask, you mentioned the short term and the kind of longer term mindsets of manager and CEO there. How do transfer budgets work? Like, do you set them for the manager and that's set? What does that process look like between manager and CEO on transfer budget?
Again, it will be different from club to club. At Arsenal, we were running a self-sustaining model. And what that means is that we were investing what we had, but not more than what we had. It was important for us to grow our revenues so that we could reinvest them into the club. So we would do that analysis. Of course, to do the analysis, you have to make some assumptions about what your sporting performance is going to be. If you make more aggressive assumptions, you'll be able to produce a case for spending more money. But of course, if you miss those assumptions, you've then put things at risk for the club going forward. Again, it's this long-term, short-term balance.
Were you more optimistic or pessimistic?
I would say we were, I think the ethos of Arsenal is probably slightly more on the conservative side, but you don't want to be too conservative. So I think we were more or less, we would budget more or less for where we finished, which would be in the top four, but not winning the league. So again, you have to be careful. This is a budget process. It's not an ambition, but it's a way that you budget to make sure that the club is long-term sustainable. So you have to have some sporting assumptions in there because that affects your revenue. Of course, everyone would love to believe they're going to win the Champions League every year, and some clubs, may budget for that. But that carries a high degree of risk. And we can see, if we look around football, look at the issues Barcelona have, if your budgeting's too aggressive, you can run into really big trouble with the football club. I think one of the things I always felt it, Arsene certainly also always felt it, was a big sense of responsibility for the club. It would have been easy, I think, for Arsene to say, for example, look, even publicly, and you see many managers do this, if only we spent more, I would be able to deliver to you, the fans, everything you ever dreamed of. And essentially, a lot of managers play that game with the fans, saying, it's those bastards back there that I think Arsene genuinely felt, a sense of long-term responsibility for the club. And so we budgeted, I think, rationally. But I think what was happening in football over those years was the competitive landscape was changing with Chelsea and Manchester City coming into the equation. And it was becoming more and more difficult for our self-sustaining model to really deliver at the level that our fans wanted. So, winning FA Cups and so on is great. And, those are wonderful moments and great feelings. But obviously what we really wanted was to win the league. Yeah. And that was really challenging.